Top 10 country singers of all time. Everyone has their own taste in music, while every genre is unique and touches your soul. However, country songs are something that, if not everyone, then at least 70% of the population enjoys. A beat that makes you stand on your feet and show off those unique moves. A blessing on long road trips. A way to say goodbye to all the worries and let your body go loose. However, choosing the best singer who wins our hearts every time is a tough call. But after extensive research, we have shortlisted the top 10 country singers of all time. This is the ABC, and if you want to know who those legends are, then stay tuned till the end of the video. Before you watch the video, please like, subscribe, and share this video as much as you can. Also, don't forget to hit the blue button to stay up to date with all of our latest videos. Number 10. Loretta Lynn. Loretta Lynn, the icon, cut her first album in 1960 and has enjoyed a career that went on over a time period of over 50 years. Often recalled as the queen of country music by the public, and for good reason, she was one of the first female singers ever who wrote songs that focused on serious issues concerning the general public. Songs that spoke directly to blue-collar women and expressed her support and love for them. From cheating husbands to birth control, from losing a loved one to being widowed during the Vietnam War, her songs talked about every problem that was never addressed before in such a way. Loretta even famously chose Sissy Spacek to portray her in Coal Miner's Daughter, which would eventually earn Spacek the Best Actress Academy Award. An icon, a talented woman, and one of the best country singers of all time. This was Loretta Lynn. Number 9. Waylon Jennings. This is no ordinary singer. Waylon Jennings was one of those who famously fought back against the restrictions of country music in the early 70s. He is best known as one of the founding pioneers of the outlaw movement. He put in all of his efforts to produce something exotic, something he felt was less formulaic and more genuine to who he was as a person. A genre that doesn't only satisfy the industry's needs, but allows him to express himself freely at the same time. His extremely famous single, Ladies Love Outlaws, is most often credited for providing the subgenre outlaw country with an official name. In fact, Waylon Jennings was so defiant that in 2001 he even skipped out on his own induction ceremony into the Country Music Hall of Fame. A legend right here. Number 8. Willie Nelson. Here, what we have is another outlaw of country music, the one and only Willie Nelson. An American musician, actor, and activist. Just like many of the other early outlaws, the beginning of Willie's career was pretty traditional. It was all about wearing suits and ties, performing on stage, attending big parties. However, he soon gave all that out in favor of his trademark long braided hair, and he began mixing jazz, blues, pop, and rock into his country music. This, plus his laid-back persona, turned him into a country music icon. The critical success of the album Shotgun Willie, 1973, combined with the critical and commercial success of Red-Headed Stranger, 1975, and Stardust, 1978, made Nelson one of the most recognized artists in country music. Number 7. George Jones. Considered as the country music powerhouse for over 5 decades, next on the list we have George Jones, who was known as the best country singer by everyone around the globe. He achieved international fame for his long list of hit records, including his best-known song, He Stopped Loving Her Today, as well as his distinctive voice and phrasing. In fact, for the last 20 years of his life, he was referred to as the greatest living country singer. Even Waylon Jennings famously once said, "If we all could sound like we wanted to, we'd all sound like George Jones." While many other country music stars, some even on this list, flirted with other genres, George Jones remained loyal to country and never tried to produce mainstream music. If you want to know what country music purely sounds like, go ahead and listen to George Jones. Number 6. Dolly Parton. Does this name even need any kind of explanation for its presence on the list? This woman is something we would call an all-in-one package. Other than the fact that she is the writer behind some of the most iconic songs of all time, like Jolene or I Will Always Love You, she was also one of the first female singers to successfully transition into acting, even earning Golden Globe nominations for 9 to 5 and The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. She falls under the categories of an American singer, songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, record producer, actress, author, businesswoman, and humanitarian all at the same time. To add to that, she's even got a theme park named after her. She's definitely a certified country royalty. Number 5. George Strait. George Strait, a working man's favorite country singer, or may we say icon. An American country music singer, songwriter, actor, and music producer, George Strait is known as the King of Country and is considered one of the most influential and popular recording artists of all time. While he didn't really break down any musical barriers, George Strait is the epitome of knowing your audience and giving them exactly what they want to hear. As if you needed proof, he's had more #1 singles out of anyone on this list, and even took the lead role in 1992's Pure Country, which many country fans consider somewhat of a cult classic today. Number 4. Hank Williams. A melodious singer that forced the audience to get on their feet, Hank Williams could not stay with us for long enough to bless our ears for a long time. Unfortunately, due to his alcoholism and use of prescription drugs, he died at an early age of 29. So when you think about it, it's pretty shocking that his entire recording career only lasted 5 years. This is a very valid proof of his talent that went viral in just 5 years. Imagine how far he would go if he survived long enough. Williams recorded 35 singles, 5 released posthumously, that reached the top 10 of the Billboard Country and Western Bestsellers chart, including 11 that ranked #1. His sound influenced country music forever, and even his son and grandson have enjoyed successful country music careers of their own. Number 3. Merle Haggard. Mr. Haggard was the very definition of the working-class man who sang songs just to those who understood him. His early life wasn't exactly a beautiful dream. Merle spent a good amount of time in prison for a number of crimes he committed, like theft and larceny. However, soon he managed to flip his life 180 degrees through his music. His voice and the way he played guitar gave his sound a hard edge with a bluesy style that's been credited with creating the Bakersfield sound, a stark contrast from the more polished Nashville sound at the time. He gained popularity with his songs about the working class that occasionally contained themes contrary to the prevailing anti-Vietnam War sentiment of much popular music of the time. His songs hit the top 10s on the billboards and made his life turn upside down. Number 2. Garth Brooks. One of the most controversial topics among country music fans, Garth can be a subject of a very hot debate, but nobody can deny that he's one of the best of all time. For better or worse, Garth Brooks changed country music from what it was to what it currently is. He blended country with folk rock, and his giant concerts were no less than any other mainstream artists. Perhaps most impressive is the fact that Garth Brooks eclipsed country and is the only artist in history to release 7 albums that reached diamond status. To put that into perspective, the only band that's come even close to touching Garth in album sales is the freaking Beatles. Number 1. Johnny Cash. Who is the best country singer of all time? Without even a single speck of doubt, it has to be none other than Johnny Cash. His rebelliousness, his deep voice, and a sound that was influenced by rock, gospel, folk, and blues led to a perfect musical storm that turned him into an icon. Having sold more than 90 million records worldwide, Cash even made a comeback later in life and covered Hurt and Personal Jesus to critical acclaim. It's this kind of crossover appeal that led to him becoming one of the few artists to earn a spot in both the country music and the rock and roll halls of fame. A self-made singer who faced different challenges of life and earned a position in everyone's hearts. These were the top 10 country singers of all time, according to our research. You may think otherwise, and if you do, then don't hesitate to let us know who you think is the best in the comment box below. And if you enjoyed the video, then don't forget to hit the like button, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel. Make sure you hit the blue icon to stay up to date with our latest videos.